Hi guys, I'm Chanaka Abeyratne and welcome to my rig rundown. My musical journey started when I was maybe 5 or 6 because I was blessed. My parents actually sent me for classical piano training and I loved it. I mean, straight off I knew I wanted to be in music, but I didn't know how to connect with the piano because I love the piano. It's got great range and brilliant tone, but I just couldn't connect with it. So I told them, I'll do music theory exams and continue for a while. And then, in the teens, I discovered the guitar. And the guitar was everything that I'd been looking for, could sing, it could growl, it could do everything. And I've never looked back from the guitar. And I do like the drums also, though. My first band was in 2002 or 2003, I think. It was a band called Soul Skinner. And most of what I know today, I learned from that band. And that was actually where I learned a lot about, team working. That band is actually a team spirit sort of sport where you need to be body and mind aligned with the other people in the band because you learn how to respect each other and to enhance each other's music. And without that, otherwise you're just doing something very impassionate and just trying to do something. After Soul Skinner, I actually joined a covers band called Revelation for a while. Then the metal bug never left me. Metal is what I feel, and after that I joined a band called Whirlwind, and still to this day, we are still rocking it, and we are hoping to record a new album. Not that we are hoping, we are halfway done, but we are hoping to release it. And also, I've been playing with a band called Dream Caravan for a long time, and I just got out of it, but I left it in very safe hands because a better guitarist than me is playing in it now, called Don. Shout out to Don for stepping in there. My main influences always keep changing. If you asked me this 4 or 5 years ago, I would say Satriani. It was Satriani, and how Satriani could just make music sing was something that I really couldn't understand, and I listened to him to see how he did it. And then I realized you have to connect more with yourself to make your instrument sing. Modern day influences of mine would have to be Andy Timmons. He's so soulful. He connects to his guitar how only he could do, I guess. And it just sings, it's soulful. But I would say growing up, Slash and Zakk Wylde, they ripped it. They ripped our minds off when we were small, and we didn't know what was hitting us because it was the 90s. You remember the 90s, right? It was dirty, it was rocking, and it was loud. And that has never left me actually. Dirtier, the louder, the better. My dream has always been to record my own music and help others record their music, because I know how tough it can be when you come up with a melody, you come up with the lyrics, everything, and there's no one to put it together. You have to go behind people. So I know how tough it can get. So that's I think why I got into this, and future plans really hasn't changed. I'll be doing this today. So guys, let's get down to my rig. Up first is this Ibanez. It's a S670 FM, and I've had it for many years. This has played rock to fusion to metal to anything. It came with a pretty good set of pickups, but I changed them to Seymour Duncan SH on the bridge and Seymour Duncan JB in the neck, and it sounds great. It doesn't really, irritate you. It's smooth, yeah, butter. I would love to play this for you guys for a bit because it sounds so great, but I haven't serviced it in a while, and it'll be a huge injustice I'm doing it. I'm going to give it some tender loving care, and I'll put up a sound clip or something for you guys to enjoy. So up next we have my box guitar, which is a Yamaha CPX 500. So I think I picked this up maybe in 2010, and it's been with me since then. The thing about this guitar is a lot of people, like if it's a solo artist singing, like you want the bass and everything to back you, right? So some people find this a really thin guitar. But for me, like when you're playing in a band, it's a lot easier to get this through the mix. So you don't have to do any additional EQ, which I really appreciate. And it's a great guitar, man. So this is kind of my pride and joy. It's a Epiphone Les Paul, I think, which was made in the 80s. It's kind of as old as I am. It has some of the same quirks. We both play out a tune sometimes. Yeah, and like I actually picked this up because it was making me feel uncomfortable. Like I've always played on Ibanez guitars, and the action is super nice and smooth. But when it came to this, it was like, I had to conquer something. And I've never regretted it. It's helped me translate into other instruments easier also. I switched the pickups that it came with. I put two Seymour Duncan set levers, and those are really accurate to the first design of the humbucker, I think, which was made by a guy called Seth Lover. And so it really sounds like a classic rock guitar, and I love to send high gain into that and put that into metal because it sounds really authentic then, and it does something special. Alright guys, now we'll get to the second part of my rig, which are the tastemakers. It's the pedals that I use. First up, I wanted to show you this because I won't be plugging it in. I didn't bring the power for this. It's my Jerry Cantrell Signature Series wah pedal. I specifically went for this pedal because it sounds a little darker than the classic wahs that are out there. See, if you see, it comes with a sort of frequency knob which can help you dial in some of those highs. If you know what I mean. I mean, when you going through a wah pedal, the highs are really sharp and the lows are really low. So this helps you sort of tone it down. It's a really good pedal actually, and I have to thank Yamaha because they brought it down for me. Next up is this TC Helicon pedal, which is actually a talkbox synth. So if you look at it here, the guitar goes through here, and there are two mic inputs here. So with the guitar, I can actually make any sort of vowel noise. If you're familiar with Bon Jovi's It's My Life, without having that whole equipment that he uses, you can just have a mic and just go wow wow, and it'll just do all the work for you. It's a great pedal. If you have a chance, check it out. It also has quite a few synth tones. And since the mic is always running, if you're someone who does backup vocals or vocals and not really good with it, it kind of has reverb and a bit of pitch correction, which would help you a little. So all in all, it's a great pedal. So guys, now to check out the first pedal on the board. This is a TC Electronic Force Field. It's a compressor. Everyone needs a compressor if you're playing in a band, just to cut through the mix. You know, a lot of people say like, it'll flow too much, or like you can't hear the dynamics. And I'd say it's all in how you dial it in. Like, don't go crazy with it. Just get it enough so that you can be heard in a mix. And this also, like, I bought right from here, Yamaha. It's part of a TC Electronic series called Smokeboard, I think, where they have quite a few of these pedals, and they're really good pedals. They're workhorses, they're built like tanks, and they're really well priced. So if you're working on a budget, I would recommend you to check out that series. Alright guys, next up we have the Grand Majors, another TC Electronic. Before talking about the Grand Majors though, I would like to tell you, if you want to check out one of their heavier pedals on this price range, I would recommend you to check out the Fangs, which was what I first bought, and I was using it as the distortion pedal for my metal outfit for a long time until I got the Tone Bone. But it is a great pedal, check that out. That being said, the Grand Majors is awesome for low gain clarity. I mean, it chimes, it's beautiful. First I'll just show you how the dry guitar signal is going into the reverb. And now we put the Grand Majors. It's nice, it has a tiny bite to it. And you could increase that a bit, I guess. Yeah! What I really like about this is hear that it's really buttery and it's really nice. Next up guys, we have the TC Electronic Afterglow. This is also another pedal in the Smokeboard series, and this is also another really nice pedal. I mean, it's clear chorus, and it's just beautiful. You dial this into some clean guitar and it's chimey, but if you also dial it into the majors or something with some tiny bit of overdrive, it's beautiful. It just shimmers. Cool guys, now let's check out how the Afterglow sounds. So again, this is the dry signal going on to the reverb, and now we'll put in the Afterglow. Hear that shimmer? Yeah, that's the stuff. Alright guys, next we have the EHX Super Ego Plus. I'm really fond of this pedal. It does a whole heap of things. So like first, as a primary function, you can just play any note and get it to ring out for as long as you want. I mean, it can just keep going for infinity. You just if you set the decay on full, it'll just keep going on. It'll never stop. So onto that note that's ringing out, you can just put these effects. There's phaser, rotary, tremolo, pitch, detune, echo, all those stuff. So aside from doing that to the note that's ringing out, you can also just have this pedal as a multi-effects pedal, like without anything ringing out or anything. You can just have these effects on it. Alright guys, now let's check out the Super Ego Plus. So there's a dry signal, and now I'm going to put the tremolo 2 on it. And some sweet tremolo. You can easily control the rate. Now what I meant about the notes ringing out is, all I have to do is put it into latch mode, and then now that note will ring out forever. And like, I can just jam on top of it. now I'm going to just show you the filter frequency sweep of it. So that note is ringing out. Now I can you don't really have to bend down and control anything. If you have a EHS expression pedal, you can just do this by foot. Alright guys, moving on, we've come to the heaviest pedal of the lot. It's the Tonebone Plexitube. It's great, it has a vintage sound, and it has a 12x tube here, if you can see, which really adds some authenticity to the tone. And it has some great controls here, if you can see. You can just scoop the mids, scoop the highs, anything you can think of actually. Let's just see how it sounds. Next up guys, I want to show you these two pedals. I'm not going to play through them today, but I just want to talk a minute about it. This loop station is the RC3. It's one of the most basic loop pedals out there, but it's really good. There's a setting on it which will start automatically recording as soon as you strum the guitar, which really helps you get your loops tighter. And yeah, it has the basic settings which would help you, control the volume on the loop as well as your main channel. And that's about it actually as far as functionality. It has two inputs, and also you can use a Boss foot switch with it. And this pedal, it's a Nux. It's the Timeco Deluxe, and I actually bought this when I burnt my Boss DD7, and I wasn't too hopeful about this pedal, I must say, but it's really helped me out in a lot of tight situations. What I really like about this pedal is it has a tap tempo, and unlike the Boss pedal, which you need a foot switch to dial in your tap, you can just press this and then it'll be on tap mode, so you can just tap in your tempo and you'll be good to go. Delay for days. Alright guys, finally I just want to show you this. It's the reverb I've been talking about going through a reverb pedal, but this is the one. Finally want to show you guys. It's the Hall of Fame Mini from TC Electronics. It's so good. I mean, it only has one dial here, but that's because it's just to control the volume. Everything else can be controlled on an app. So it has this thing called Tone Print, where you can just save as many settings onto your phone, and then just when you want to change the settings, you just keep it near the pickups of your guitar and just dial it in, and yeah, some magic happens and the tone changes, man. You can have so many settings on it. It's a really good pedal. Check it out if you guys get a chance. There is also the Hall of Fame 1 and 2, I think, which have more options. They're all good, I believe. So I've basically showed you my whole rig, and that's how I get the tone out. But I also want to tell you guys, don't get hung up on brands, don't get hung up on pricings. Practice your instrument, be true to yourself, because effects will come. They are just like soundscape you add on top of things, and they'll find their way to you. So that's the end of my rig rundown. I had a good time. I want to thank Anil and Yamaha for putting this up. So I'll see you guys soon. Bye.